We're done with Cute Kai's World today. Anyway, I'm about to be speedrunning Part 2. If anybody out there is also curious about how Layer 3 works, grab a pen and a piece of paper. We'll go through it really quick. So, this is Dancer 2. This is the first level. There are 3 different Layer 3s in here. 3 different Layer 3s. So, can't wait to play your hack. Hell yeah, thank you. I hope you enjoy it. I'll be curious to see what you think. What is the difficulty of this hack? The Cute Kai's World, very easy, very easy. Maybe probably still challenging for beginners, but overall not. It'll be one of the easier when it's on SMW Central. Would be probably one of the easier Kaizo hacks out there. So the green mushroom is what you use for Layer 3. Excuse me. Basically, these graphics files up here, these 4 boxes, are basically the graphics that the Layer 3 is pulling from. So you can see here, the only one I need for these levels are LG4. LG4 is the graphics file that I used to create this background. So you can see 420, haha, clouds, it's 420. That's just how it came. I did not choose that, but so you can see, even though I have different looking Layer 3s, all of these levels, see, like this Layer 3's obviously looks a hell of a lot different. It's still 420 in LG4. Because that's just the graphics file that I'm pulling from for these tiles. Again, different looking Layer 3, but still it comes from 420. Surely wasn't intentional. And then the graphics tile map for LT3 right here in this bottom section. You can see this first one is 422. I don't know, I'm not changing anything. This one's 423, and this one is 424. Basically what that is when I go into the overworld and I load the Layer 3, this is where you can edit your Layer 3. In Layer 3 level, and then you want to load Layer 3 of the level. So this is what that Layer 3 looks like for this level right here. And if I go... Basically, what I just showed you, that's graphics file 424. That is technically the Layer 3. When I load it for this level, again, that's what I've used. This is what I've drawn using the graphics file 420. And again, I'll show you in this level. Again, go to the overworld, load Layer 3 to level. That is what I've got. So, if you find, there is on SMW Central, the cloud graphics set that I used to make these. I could probably link that. Everything you show and say sounds like magic to you. May I ask why they call it Lunar Magic? Here. SMW Central, Layer 3. This was the graphics file that I used to make all of these backgrounds, or these Layer 3s. Again, basically once you have the 420 loaded in here, you can go into the overworld editor, Layer 3 level, load Layer 3 of level, and then in your overworld tile selector tools, this little rock up here, this little blue rock, this is where you're going to find the tiles that come from the graphics set. So basically it's just a matter of using these tiles to draw whatever you want. Obviously you need to have it on. Palette matters. You can change the palette and everything. That obviously matters. But then yeah, you just use this to, you know, draw what you want. draw what you want it to look like. You probably need to use flip X and flip Y a lot, because layer 3 can only use 4 colors, I think, 3 or 4 colors in a very small amount of pixels or what have you. So if you want to make something, you're going to need to flip X and Y a lot. So like I'd combine these by using the first one and then flipping it with X. And if I wanted, you know, if I wanted to make it a circle or whatever, you know, you just act accordingly, you know. So that's how you can make some detailed shit with the little amount of graphics that come with layer 3s usually. And then, can I show you how to get it from SMW Central into the game? Yeah. When you're done, save layer 3 of level to ROM and X graphics file. This is where you can see I have the 422, 423, 424. If you want to make a new one, you can edit an existing one. So if I wanted to take this from my first level and add it to another level, I would load it in the layer 3 editor, and then I could just save this exact thing as 429. So I'd save it as 429, and then in another level, you know, I could go to level fucking 130 and come here. I would load 420 in this, and then in the LT3 I would load 429, my new one, and then from there I could go into the overworld editor, load layer 3 for this new level. It would obviously look the same, and that's where you could go and edit it if you wanted to take one layer 3 from one level and move it to another level, to edit it into something slightly different. So that's exactly what I did with these first few levels. These all came from the same original graphics file that I made. I think I made this one first, and then I just basically edited it into this, and then also into this. It's just these clouds. Can I show you how to get it in game? Yes, absolutely. So let's open the beginner hack. If you use the most recent version of Lunar Magic, the layer 3 editor has been moved from overworld to the level editor toolbar. Oh, that's actually good to know. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, so this is the download file. This is the download file. If 420 is so great, why isn't there a 422? Okay, so perfect. I hope you're paying attention, Octavius, because I'm not slowing down. No. So LG4. This LG4 used for both, again, is the this one here, LG4. This is what is going to be the graphics that whatever you choose your layer 3 to look like, this is what's going to draw from it. And it's a little different from regular X graphics. So basically I would take both of these LG4, and the only reason these two are different, LT3 and the original and the SMW, is because this one comes with two different, if you look at the link, this comes with two different versions of the layer 3. So let's say I just want the SMW one. I just need to extract these. Let's just extract these. You can use all this other shit. I'm sure it's a lot of it's going to be the same to regular X graphic shit. But just for the sake of demonstration, I only need these. Let's add these to my beginner hack here. I'm just extracting them. Okay, so I would take both of these. I would put you. They go in the same X graphics folder. You just put them right. Oops, I did not put those into X graphics. Where did I just put those? That's where I put them. I didn't mean to do that. So let's bring them back. I think I just opened them. Yeah, I did. Alright, so let's put these in the X graphics folder. And again, we'll just rename them the same thing. I'm going to rename the LG4. Again, the LG4 is what's going to... That's what the layer 3 is going to draw from for the graphics. So we can make this X graphics 420. We'll do the same thing. That one's X graphics 420. This LT3 is the actual layer 3. The LT3 is what the actual layer 3 looks like. What's up, Hound System? So we can name this. Again, we'll just do the same thing. We'll do X graphics 422. And then basically this is where it starts to probably feel a lot easier. You're doing your best. Sorry, I know I'm kind of rapid fire going through everything here. Okay, so we've got 420, that is the LG4, and the 422, that's the LT3. Obviously I'm going to press the mushroom just like regular X graphics, just like you'd insert anything else. Quickly insert the graphics and X graphics to ROM. Again, open your green mushroom there. Enable the bypass. LG4 is going to be 420. And then the graphics tile map file LT3 is going to be 422. And once we do that, you should see that's when we get the clouds. So that's how we insert it. And there are our clouds. RRRRR. So we've just gotten our layer 3 for the clouds in. This is where... Which LT3 did you use? This was the SMW one. I think there's original and SMW. This was the SMW one. And this is where, again, if you're in 3.11 version of Lunar Magic like I am, this is where you go to the overworld editor, or however you load the layer 3. Layer 3 level, load layer 3 of level, and this is, you can just edit it here. So you can just edit it like you would a normal background. I can delete, I can copy and paste, I can move stuff around. If you have this open, you know, I could do this. I could post the same thing next to it and then flip the X, and then all of a sudden it becomes, you know, coherent, you know what I mean? So this is how you would make stuff. And then say for instance, I have 105 here. I have 105 here, and I have oh Jesus. Oh Jesus, what did I do to this ROM? Okay, so I have 105 and I have 103. And I want to have layer 3 clouds for 103. But I don't want to redraw them again. Let's say I drew this and I don't want to redraw them. So what I could do is in 105 here, we can again load the layer 3 we have right here, and I can go and save this. Save layer 3 of level to ROM and X graphics file. Do you want to save? Yes, I do. I just come down here and I'm just gonna save it as 423. So we've saved that as 423. We go to level 103, and I'm going to go into the green mushroom, enable bypass. Obviously we need the 420. You would always need the 420 when you want those clouds. And for the LT3, now I'm going to load, instead of 422 that's being used in level 105, I'm going to load 423, which you can see it's the same exact layer 3. It's the same exact layer 3 that we just made. But this is where I can edit it. Let's say, oh, that looks great, perfect. We're using the same graphics, but we're just editing it slightly. Perfect, that looks awesome. That's what I want it to be as. Whenever you edit your layer 3, if you want it to show up in the level, you need to reinsert the graphics with this mushroom button. And then, hey, that's our new layer 3. So now, from the same graphics file, I have these clouds that I just made, and now I also have these new clouds. So that's exactly how I did the layer 3 for that first level I showed you in Dancer 2. This is a perfect example because the file names tell you what graphics slot they need to go in. This is a perfect example. This was really easy for me to learn, and now I've done other layer 3 based off of it. Which LT3 did you use? I think I just answered that. Whatever you name the LT3 file is the number you type in for LT3. Exactly. So you can't use the same LT3. You could, you just couldn't make them look different. So like honestly, like if I wanted the same exact clouds for both 105 and 103, yeah, I could absolutely just in the menu here, just load the same thing. I could just load 422 and then boom, it's the same one we have for 105. But if you want to edit it, you just need to save it. You just need to save the original as a new graphics file. So you can see here, because I saved that new one because I saved it as a new graphics file and then edit it into this 423, you can see even though I didn't physically add this, if we go to my Xgraphics folder, I now have an Xgraphics 423. Even though that did not come from SMW Central, that did not come from YYCHR. This Xgraphics 423 was automatically generated when I saved it as a new graphics file. So that's how I was able to pull it into a different level and then edit it into something slightly different. You want to know who assigned 420 to create the best cloud? You gotta talk to, who was it? I'm Amelia and... what was that? Where's the link I posted? I'm Amelia and Aloysius. You gotta talk to them. So you don't have all those Xgraphics files, is that okay? You only have the ones we just downloaded? Oh yeah, the only ones we were using was 420, 422, and 423. I was just showing you, Octavius, that the LG4 is going to be unanimous. Any level that you would want these clouds in, you're gonna need 420 in the LG4 slot. But say again, if I want to say I want to use this layer 3 and I want to add it to, now I want to add these clouds to 102. But I want to make them look slightly different. Again, I could just go into the layer 3 of this level. Again, file layer 3 level, load layer 3. And then, again, I'm going to save layer 3 of level to ROM and Xgraphics file. This is how I'm going to create a brand new one. Just by choosing 424. See, it's 424 not inserted. I do not have any graphics file for that. So I'm going to save it as a new LT3. So I save it as 424. Can exit out of that. Again, I'm just going to reinsert for safety. Go down to 102, and then again I go into my green mushroom, enable the bypass, need 420, and then for the LT3 do 424, and you see it's the same layer 3 that we just had in 103, but now I can load it. Now I can load it and I can make changes to it. Save it, and then reinsert the graphics. So now again, I've taken the original graphics folder file for the layer 3, and I've changed it slightly for 3 different levels. Does that all make sense? Are all those other ones? Oh yeah. These are, yeah. All of these are graphics that I already had for the game. Yeah, so the only ones I'm using were 420 again, which is your LG4, which is going to be unanimous for any level that you want those clouds in. And then 422, 423, and 424. These are the different actual layer 3s that are used in all of these in 105, 103, and 102. Can you save over the 422 if you're confident you don't want to use 422 again? Oh yeah, absolutely. So say like, I mean, technically, when I load layer 3 of level here, so we'll say that this is 422. This is 422. If I make changes to it, you can save it with just that button, or if you go down to save layer 3 of level to ROM, if you just pick 422 here, again, this is already 422. If I save it as 422, it's gonna overwrite the save for sure. If you decide you only want to use the new one, you can rename it. Then when you quick insert it, it will update all the ones using that number. Yeah, oh yeah, that's a good point too. I'll show that as well. So let's in 103 here, let's just delete everything so we can see the layer 3. Yeah, you can just now I have, you motherfucker. Now I have 422. I have LT3 422 in 103 and 105 now. So let's say I load the layer 3 of 105 and I make changes to it. Let's just delete everything. So now I've made changes to 422. I've made changes to X graphics file 422. If I save it here, reinsert it, hey, it looks exactly like the changes we made. Also will appear in 103. So any changes you make to any LT3, no matter what level, no matter how many levels, if you change LT3, it's going to change it for any level that it's in. Which if we go back to Dancer 2 here, that's how, again, for this level, I have 3 different sections in this level, and they all use the same LG4 420. Again, 420, 420, but they all have different LT3s. Because they're all using 420 to draw the cloud graphics, but I created different LT3s so they could look slightly different. So again, this is using 422. I did not make any changes. This is using 423, and this is using 422. Yeah, what's up, Mary? Thank you. Think this makes sense? It's a little confusing. Are the clouds stationary in gameplay? No. Actually, if we open up Dancer 2, I can show you how to change that too. You can make the layer 3 act however you want, basically. So if we go, see how the background of the stars is standing still, but the clouds are moving as if there's wind, and you can see when we move, the background moves, but the clouds still kind of do the same thing. All you need to do, so this is going to add another layer to it, but this blue box here with the fish, change layer 3 settings. You need to enable advanced bypass settings for layer 3, and I have these on horizontal scroll, auto scroll, left, normal. You've got a lot of options for these. That's just going to be something you're going to have to play around with, because I can't sit here and tell you, what constant, what variable 2 does, slow and fast. It's a lot like how the background works. So you've got to figure that out. Never use constant. Constant will move with Mario. Constant's usually pretty weird. But this is also where, if you do translucent against subscreen, this first checkbox option here, this is what's going to make the clouds translucent. So I can show you that. Yeah, constant's fucking gross. So yeah, see now you can see the background. Now the clouds are actually translucent. So that's how that works. And again, if you if you want different layers of translucency, I guess, that's changed in the color palette. Like if you want them fully translucent, you're gonna need to make them black, like completely dark. And if you want them more opaque, the more opaque you want them, the lighter the color needs to be, basically. Let me go ahead and fix that. But you can see I've got clouds in multiple levels in Dancer 2 so far. So in level 1, the clouds are completely opaque. You can't see through them. But if we go to Mount Kerrigan, then the clouds are, you can see the clouds are translucent there. So there's different things you can do with them. You can see my layer 3 clouds are translucent, and you can see the background behind them. So yeah, that's kind of a basic rundown. Obviously there's a lot you're probably going to have to play around with to figure it out better. But I hope that helped. And if you have any questions, let me know now before I'm fully switched over. Definitely helped me. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. If you have any questions, shoot me a message on Discord too. Always happy to help. Once they're in, the hard work is done. Just play with the scrolling speeds as you would with layer 2 until you're happy. Exactly. If you choose to move into HDMA, layer 3 scrolling does not work with parallaxing. Maybe a little advanced, but worth noting.